Go ahead and fire away with your questions for Sammy and Jordan.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess either one you can take is just, I don't know, if I say frustration, but just that, the inability, you got it down to 7 points. You just weren't able to finish. Just, when you talk about that, the frustration is there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did a good job of fighting back and getting it close, like you said. But then it's, whether I think we missed a box out on Asia and she gets a put back. I don't know if we turned it over, missed a shot, and then they ran it back down kind of thing. It's when we get in those moments, I think, to really feel it and to really understand that this is, we've got the momentum, it's turning, and really capitalizing instead of, letting them sort of, it's little errors, but we let them back in. I thought it was a lot of our own doing at times tonight with turnovers, live ball unforced, missed shots, missed free throws. We talked a lot about that. We have the opportunities and that's what we want, but yeah, it's frustrating not capitalizing when we keep putting ourselves in these positions to steal some of these.
Jordan, is there some positive you can take a little bit away from this because you're going to have a game on Saturday?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It was a lot of positive things that happened in this game. And we just keep building on from that. But like Sammy said, times where, we got to take the momentum. We got to, value the possession. We just got to be more locked in for that. But I feel like, we're making strides in the right direction. And just keep working at it. If we got that same energy, I feel like our energy was there. Sadie's brought a lot of good minutes for us. And that's good for us to see that. But so we just capitalized on, the good things that we did.
The first couple of times you played them, by the fourth quarter, it wasn't close. It was a game in the fourth quarter. What was working out there, Sam, tonight that maybe hadn't been those first couple against Vegas?
I mean, I thought we did, in that stretch when we came back, we were a bit better defensively, and then we were running out and getting better looks. We were putting the pressure on them at the rim. They fouled us. We got into the bonus. But I thought we just played better basketball, honestly. But it was to Jordan's point, I thought our energy, that's what got us back in it. We had energy. We were working together defensively, getting some stops. I mean, yes, they obviously still ended up scoring. I mean, 79 is probably a low for them. And percentage wise, they didn't shoot a fantastic percentage considering how well they normally shoot. So again, it's rewarding ourselves with those efforts. We have to then finish plays on the other end. We have to make sure that if we're getting stops, we're scoring.
Jordan, you guys went on a 19-2 run in the end of the third and into the fourth. I thought Sammy did a really good job, kind of spurring that on. Mm-hmm. What have you learned from Sammy playing with her and watching her?
That's a loaded question. I mean, she's. I look at Sammy like when I need advice, when I, things are getting hectic. I look at Sammy, I look at Izzy and Jewell. So it's just like those are my three leaders right now. I feel like she's been a great leader for this team. Her voice, she knows the game. She's been around the game. And she's a sharp shooter, so I respect her. But she brought great energy for us. She came in, made some hustle plays, and that's the type of things that we need from her. And then of course she knocked down some threes. So,
and Sammy, talk to me about Alicia Clark and the impact she has for the Aces.
I mean, we know what she does obviously here better than a lot of people, but I think they're known for their offense, right? But she's that sort of lockdown defender. Her versatility, she can play, 1 through 4, 1 through 5 if you have to kind of thing. So I think she provides that for them. And then obviously you can't leave her open, she's another spacer. She's another shooter for them. But she's just a gritty, tough player, really smart. So yeah, she's, I think, really a great addition because she is that sort of defender that maybe they didn't have before.
Hard to box out too, let me tell you that.
Yeah.
And then for either of you, Asia Wilson, 15 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks. I know Asia's always known for how good she is offensively, although she won Defensive Player of the Year last year. Seems like she's even better this year. And just kind of what does she do that makes it so difficult?
I mean, she's relentless. She's constantly pursuing, whether it's her own, missed shot. She's there to tip it back. Other people's. Very physical, runs the floor well. She does all those things. She's an MVP of the league, But yeah, I thought today where she really hurt us, where maybe she traditionally hasn't, was on the second effort stuff. I thought that she really punished us there.
Sammy, you mentioned earlier how 79 is probably a little bit low for their offense. Was there anything defensively that you guys felt like you did do well tonight to kind of hold them below where they can find themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did for the most part, our schemes well. And, you know, early on, I thought we were limiting them to, you know, one shot. And we were doing a good job kind of being physical with them without fouling, which is, but, you know, just contesting, they make, you leave them open, they make them. So our pickup points are important, making sure that we were contesting everything, getting a hand in their face and just trying to make every shot a hard shot and hope that, you know, they miss some. Sometimes that's all you can do, you know? So I thought we just did a better job of making sure that we limited how open their looks were.
Yeah,
Talk a little bit about just the impact that you've already seen Gabby making just in these few short games, and then also how she's been doing since starting today for the first time.
Yeah, it's been great having Gabby. She's again another versatile player. She can run the one for us. She can play, you know, 2 through 4, all of that. She rebounds well. She's just a smart player, you know. She's played all over the world at every level, very comfortable, very confident, can do a bit of everything. So I think just having another player like that who's familiar with this team as well. Obviously, she's here last year, I think really helps. She'll help with our depth. And yeah, I think we're just going to continue to see you know, her get more comfortable and get back into her stride and her rhythm, but so excited to have her back.
All right.
thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank you guys.
Hey, Coach, you guys were down 24 in the third, then you guys had the 19-2 run. Just what went right during that spurt?
I thought our energy level was high. I thought we were rebounding the ball well, closing out strong and getting some playing it with some pace and in transition. I think, you know, that's kind of been our bread and butter, and some shots fell for us. So it was good to see some rhythm in that moment.
When you sort of gain momentum like that and like you have it, how tough is it to like close the deal and to you know to close the deal?
Honestly, I'm just happy to be in that position against the #1 team in the league. It's not, you know, for us, obviously we're learning, but closing the deal against Vegas, if you were to tell me we're in that type of game tonight, I wouldn't have imagined that. So I think instead of closing the deal, it's how to continue to play that same way. And maybe that kind of encompasses, you know, how we figure out how to close games, or possessions or quarters or whatever have you, but just a good position to be in with a very good team at that moment.
Going right off of that, first game against the Aces, I believe you guys was like 41.
You don't believe, you know. Say it, yes.
40 plus.
Yes,
Second game is 30 plus.
yes.
As Percy's talking about, you guys, it's a single digit game
Correct.
midway through the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
Like how much pride is there and the growth that you're seeing from your team from day one to now?
A lot of pride and a lot of growth in a lot of areas. And obviously we're different from day one. We're not where we want to be, but that is what the second half of the season is, to continue to grow and progress in a lot of ways. How, when we're facing the opponents again, how we're playing and how we're adjusting to that throughout the game, how we start games, how we are in the middle of the games, and how we can continue to find ways to finish games. I think that's a positive to be, you know, in a situation where you're in a single digit game late in a game with the team who's very talented and primed to win a championship. For a young team like ours, that shows that is a lot of pride, you know, that shows just a testament to the work that they're putting in and attentiveness to detail and all the things that matter. We're trying to find some success in this league.
Asia Wilson leads all scorers with 23 points, but she has 15 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 block shots. Talk about her impact on the defense.
I mean, they're playing a boxing one. You know, they're very, you know, she didn't really have to leave the paint in that area, and they're just so smart. You know, her impact is strong on both ends of the floor, but they play with their minds. And if, you know, not having to chase people around, but just be solid and just be a anchor in the paint and do all of those things physically, tremendous. I mean, to me, it didn't even, I look at the box score, I'm like, is she playing hard? She's playing hard. And it's like could get this in her sleep, you know what I mean? But I just think that she's in an amazing rhythm and she's so competitive, no matter what the matchup is. And she plays hard. She finds ways to score and be so impactful on the defensive end as well.
And then talk about the impact Alicia Clark has had on their team.
I think she's brought toughness defensively. Vegas can outscore you, but AC has obviously honed her defensive skills and is, defense is important to her. Obviously her ability to knock down shots is huge, but their small ball lineup doesn't seem so small because she's able to guard multiple positions. But she's brought toughness, another level. They're already a tough team, but another level of toughness, a consistent 3-point shooter are the things that we've seen AC grow into in this league.
What did Gabby Williams do for you today?
Yeah, I mean, her defensive effort, her defensive energy, her ability to have another initiator on the floor, her athleticism, ability to guard multiple positions just gives us another elite athlete on the floor and comfort, in my opinion. She knows our system, does what we want, plays at a high level and very hard. Energy level is always high, so especially for our group, she's special to have on the floor with us.
We talked about the players' attention to detail and getting rewarded, not by the win, but as a coach, given that, how comforting is it that you see the players kind of begin to understand the execute that you're trying to have them?
Yeah, and honestly, we still have a ways to go. Yeah, but not even that. Even in the midst of executing, it's like we're in after a timeout. I look up and all of a sudden Vegas has the ball again. It's like in crucial possessions, how are we executing? No matter what we've done in prior to in first, second quarter, in these moments, now our next level is to continue to listen, execute, and get over this hump of the turnovers or the lack of defensive execution. So we still have a ways to go, but I'm proud of our effort for sure, especially our defensive effort tonight. 79 points for Vegas is pretty darn good.
Yeah, and I think you're referencing the timeout and then the near turnover. That was a turnover. She missed the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you show the play over and over
Mhm.
and say,
Yeah, we have to. That's how we get better. We have to watch it. We have to rep it. We have to actually talk through it and get some understanding as to, how we can be better in those moments.
Message to Jewell during the game like this.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to keep it fun for her. Just kept saying, have fun. They were trapping her. She hadn't even hit a shot yet. They were boxing on her and she hadn't even hit a shot yet. That's respect, and to just own that. And you can't not have fun. I know you're trying to, play at a high level against a really good team, but you can't let the joy go out the window. So that was just my message, and try to get her to smile a little bit, loosen up a little bit and as much as possible. But it's tough in those moments. She's had, multiple times this year where that has happened. It's about just, sometimes just find your teammates, like find some be a playmaker in some ways and to help your momentum shift a little bit as it relates to your shots and your rhythm.
Thoughts on 8 of 18 from the free
Oh
throw
my
line?
gosh, that's another thing. How could I forget that? We've struggled mightily from the free throw line this year, even on the road. We're getting there. That's one thing, we talk about growth. We hadn't been a team that got to the free throw line a ton, like we, historically. And to get there now does us no good if we can't make those shots. So we're leaving points on the board by not being focused and sharp and just knocking down shots, but it's been addressed in PD work and practice work, but it will continue to be addressed. We'll continue to rep it, work on it, and hopefully we get better.
Mercedes Russell hasn't been playing a lot lately, but she got some good minutes and produced for you.
Yeah.
What did you think of her game?
That she was a lot better. Her activity level is number one. That's her number one role right now, is to be super active. And I thought that her defense was sharp. I thought offensively she was aggressive. The post-ups that she got, she didn't shy away from contact or finishing. And that's what we want to see consistently in the second half of the season.
It's how difficult is it to like, yeah, get that chemistry when there's so many players coming in and out, like with, you know, Gabby now, and then if you have the rotation is, you know, how it is now, but it just feels like there's new players kind of like finding their time out there.
Who else is new now? Just as far as like rookies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's just probably gonna be the rest of the year, just finding, you know, some, you know, you think about matchups, that's one, who's on the floor, but also consistency in play, production, that's gonna be a big indicator of rotations or who's on the floor. Obviously, Jado is going to be in the mix because it's important for her development. But looking at the floor as well, we got to think about, you know, how we want to play matchups, how we match up with other teams, and then offensively, what's our best assets together on the floor. So lots of thought processes to go with it, but honestly, it's not going to be a set rotation again. I think just continue to find production everywhere.
Just going off of that, with the record being what it is, how critical is it to evaluate all of these players 1 through 12?
Yeah, very. You know, it's we're laying, you know, foundational pieces for now and future, and seeing who can buy in, who can play with each other, who can understand our system and complement players that complement each other. So it's twofold. Yeah, we want to keep getting better every single day and every single game, but also we're looking for teams, players that fit each other to continue to build to championship level quality caliber, championship level caliber players team. What a word salad.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.